This is a video to help you think about an Isocost line. So let's think for a moment, what is the purpose of this? This will tell us all the combinations of the inputs that we can afford with a given total cost. So this could be really important in healthcare because what we want to think about is if the price of one of the things that we wanted to use, like the price of syringes went up, the only way we can keep the total cost from rising is if we give up some other input and buy less of it. So let's use, we always have two inputs in order to depict this graphically. So let's suppose our two inputs are a choice of using prescriptions or therapy. And so in this realm, we need to know, in order to think about what is the total cost that we would spend, we're going to use whatever our price is for the prescriptions multiplied by the units of prescriptions added to the price of the therapy multiplied by units of therapy. So suppose initially that the prescription price is prescriptions are $100. And let's say the therapy is $200. So let's imagine that this is happening within a hospital. So we're thinking about not from the perspective of like a patient going to buy these things, but from the perspective of the producer or the firm. So let's say this is a hospital and we're thinking about psychiatric care, and these are two of the inputs that they would be using in that portion of the hospital. So now let's imagine what's the total cost going to be. So if prescriptions are $100 and we used, let's just say, 4 units, and the therapy was $200, and we also wanted to use 4 units, then we can see here that we would have $1,200 in total cost that comes from that. So just to think about that, let's plot that point. 4 and 4 is just this point right here. Now let's think about another point that would also yield $1,200 in total cost. So let's suppose we changed it that we're going to use, we'll use 3 units of the therapy, and that's only $600 this time. In order to be $1,200 again, that means we have more money that would be able to go into prescriptions, and we would be able to afford 6 units of prescriptions for the same $1,200. So if I go to prescriptions at 6 and therapy at 3, it's a point, say, right here. Okay, so as I go along, I can generate a line. Having trouble. I have never ever seen that magical 45-degree line thing. Okay, I'm going to try to ignore it. I don't know where it came from. Okay, I'll just leave it there and clear it out at the end of this video. Oh, I can move it. Okay, goodbye. I see that it could be helpful when I want to use a line in the future. Okay, so let's think about what happened here. And my alignment is not the best. let's imagine that this is 3, this is 4, this is 4, and this is 6. So what we can see here is if I gave up one therapy visit, I can purchase or afford 2 more units of prescriptions. It's a 2-to-1 ratio because the prices over here we can see are also a 2-to-1 ratio. So it turns out the slope comes from the price of the prescriptions and the price of therapy. Oh, prescription price. This price goes in the numerator, as you will see. Here it's a 1/2 slope. So negative 1/2 is the slope of my isocost, which is corresponding to, since the therapy costs twice as much, I have to give up twice as many prescriptions to get 1 more unit of therapy. If I extend this line out to where its intercepts are, this whole line is my isocost. So it's telling me everything that I can afford, and of course I can still afford things within it. I could buy 1 of each or 3 and 2, but it's the boundary beyond which, if I only have $1,200, that's the limit on what I can spend.